Hello everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and as always, thank you so much for the support in the past couple videos and the channel as a whole. I truly do appreciate it. I see loud and clear that you guys want more 2v2 content. More is on the way, but we're getting into ones today. Today we have Lucifron playing as the Malians with the golden boat in the yellow on the top side of the map. Lucifron is a YouTuber, pro player, and Twitch streamer. We'll leave his links in the description below. Would highly recommend checking out his educational content for YouTube. Across the way, we have something that I unfortunately cannot pronounce, playing as the Delhi Sultanate in the purple. Also rocking the golden boat, so respect there. Now, this player is a very highly ranked player. Sitting at well over 2,000 points for the season. So this is not any slouch. This is a very, very solid player. So let's see if they can get the best of Lucifron. Today we had the Malians versus the Delhi Sultanate. Delhi has been getting a lot of playtime. I'm seeing a ton on the ladder of a lot of the pro players. They've been liking it a whole bunch. It seems pretty strong at the current moment, especially on land maps, right? I think that's where Delhi really finds its groove. It's got some, you can get to the castle age if you can secure some relics. If you secure some relics, some sacred sites, get some map control with your keeps. You can really start to cruise if you go Tower of Victory with those archers. And if you go for the other landmark, which I'm currently blanking on, but I'm assuming this player's going to go to help me out here. Get those scholars in production, get them out in the map, and all that beautiful healing. Now, across the way, the Malians are also in a very, very good spot. A lot of times you'll see a lot of sorts of cheats to try to take out this first original pit mine of the Malians, put a little bit of pressure on them. And the current meta is honestly Donzo's Javelin Throwers. It is a very, very strong combination. It can take on almost anything in the game, and you're going to be seeing lots of Malians go for it. And also the standard build right now for the Malians is that cow boom. Let's see if Lucifron decides to put up those pens, get the cows cruising and working, and then throw up that Grand Corral right in the middle. Now we do see the Manzana Quarry coming down for all those passive resources that Lucifron will be taking advantage of throughout the course of this game. If you are enjoying, and also as I say that, Tower of Victory going down, so we will never see what else is on the map. But Tower of Victory, remember, is a military landmark. That bad boy increases attack speed of infantry by 20%. So you start to cook with those archers. Let me just say, you start to really, really cook. Now, as I was about to say, if you made this far into the video and you are enjoying and you have enjoyed the content, please do drop a like. It really helps. And leave a comment. Let me know what you're most looking forward to about the Byzantines. The news just dropped when I'm making this video right now. So let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to the most of that civilization. And if you have not already and you are still sticking around, please do subscribe. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And also, if you like and come hang out with me, ask me some questions, come check out the Discord server as well. Now that's all. I think that's all the shoutouts I can possibly do in one video at this point. Oh, and I can check out my Twitch as well. You know what I mean? Just get one more ding right there. Ding fries are done. And I also like to do this at the beginning of the game because, there's just not too much always going down unless we see a little bit of a cheeky, little play onto this pit mine, something like that. We assume that these two fellows were not going to be fighting until that Tower of Victory dropped and we start to see some archers roll across the map. Now, we have to wait and see what Lucifron decides to go for his first building in Age 2. I would be guessing an archery range, or I would also be guessing a barracks because the Dons are so good into the Ghazi Raiders. So we have to wait and see. Maybe Lucifron's going to scout first. You never know. We have a lone villager over here. What they going to do? Oh, they dropped a pit mine down front. That pit mine is not showing up on the map. Oh, I guess they don't. And it's just it looks so weird because it has nothing surrounding it. So there's a scout. He sees what's coming his way. He's going to be seeing the stable, so now he'll be responding with a barracks. If I had to imagine, so Lucifron playing this perfectly. And there's the barracks. I didn't watch this replay in the past. I'm just getting a little bit better at understanding what the bros are doing. Also, that was the easiest read of my entire life. The scout literally just passed the stable, and then once the stable popped down, we literally saw a barracks. So But you know what? I'll take the dubs anywhere that I can get them. Now, we're going to be seeing some Ghazi Raiders. They are very, very good at taking down houses around the pit mines, but the Duns are very, very good at tracking them down. Makes it very, very easy to keep the Duns around here. The only issue is that they are susceptible to some damage out front, and especially once the Delhi player scouts this pit mine, which he will right now. So you're going to be putting some pressure on this thing for sure. And if Lucifron brings his Donzos out, you can just run the Ghazi Raiders right on by and then bring it back over to this pit mine over yonder. Lucifron's not going to be losing that house anytime soon, sending the villager over to get the work done over there. And here comes the upgrades already. We have an archery range as well. So I think we're going to be going to that standard javelin thrower Donzo kind of combination. There's the Ghazi Raider. There are the Donzos, and they're running away. So we're seeing nothing but normal here out of both of these two. Hopefully we see, I would love to see some elephants, something like that. That'd be cool. I don't think we're going to be seeing those at all, but you never know. We probably will be seeing, we're probably going to be seeing the standard kind of thing. And here comes the archery range as well. So we're going to be seeing Ghazi Raiders and archers versus Donzos and javelin throwers. Now, honestly, these are two of the strongest civs in the game right now. It's interesting to see these two high-level players duke it out with this much on the board. The Ghazi Raiders are going to be a good job just annoying the crap out of Lucifron. If Lucifron can secure this front pit mine, though, it's a big one, so that will be definitely very advantageous for him. These archers are going to be starting to come out in the masses. There's already 4 Duns throwers on the way over here, and there's already 5 Ghazi Raiders on the map. They're getting that +1 range defense, which is going to be incredibly important, because as we all know, these Donzos, they can chuck their spears, their javelins, right off the rip, so it really makes them super, super efficient into any sort of cavalry unit. And even on top of that, even the French knights struggle with these bad boys. So they are very, very solid. These two Dons are going to come out here to protect the villagers that are going to be making this wall off over here. And we're going to be seeing that these guys are going to be dipping real quick. Look at how well they trade into even the masses of the... There's 4 Ghazi Raiders and there's 2 Donzos, and they did so little damage. Ghazi Raiders are going to be trying to get a cheeky snipe. Another one sniped down, so Lucifron doing super, super well. He's going to be going after the scout next. And actually, they're going to be taking out yet another one. So this is the most value ever for these Donzos. More are we going down. 3 for none, and they didn't get any damage down on this. So this is absolutely worth it for Lucifron. Absolutely not worth it for our Delhi player. Now, the purple, they tried their absolute best. Let's see if they can recover. I think a lot of people definitely struggle when they start to lose a little bit early on. Just the trades just don't go perfectly in your way. If Delhi can kind of span this out into that 20-25 minute mark, I think they're going to be sitting in a very, very good position. But they do have to survive early on. So that's going to be one of the issues coming out. We can see the Ghazi Raiders are coming, but look at Lucifron's army. 3 and 8 already on the map. And it's only be getting worse and worse. And it's going to, honestly, they're going to be trading better and better. As you can see, that javelin throw is already playing a role. That scout is going very, very low. Losing that scout's going to be not the best, but also it's not the worst ever, right? But you want these scouts so you can make sure that you don't get caught up in one of these stealth forests. You're running through with Ghazi Raiders, and all of a sudden, half of your units are completely dead in the water because you ran into a line of javelin throwers. A line of Donzos. Not exactly what you want to be doing. So we do see, though, that these archers came in. They're starting to take it down. They're like, you know what? We understand that we can't do any damage at all the buildings, but might as well get some chip damage while we're here. And while your army is moving all around, we'll be doing a little bit of damage left and right. There is now 8 archers on the map with 4 Ghazi Raiders, and 2 more are coming on the way. But Lucifron's army right now is 5 and 11 strong respectively, and that army can completely cook this army. So here we go. We can see the Don's throwers are already getting their little chip damage in. This pit mine is staying strong, not going to be going anywhere. We do have an earlier sacred site being captured and decaptured just as quickly. I do love how the scholar's going back out to do something about this. Like, what are you going to be doing with this? You need someone to help you out. And there's the archer, but I think the Donzo might be able to get the damage that they need done before this happens. And there we go. It's gonna be a close one, honestly, because the archer's gonna be here to do some damage. You can see that the micro is already coming out, and a slow battle is gonna be commencing over yonder. We can see that finally the archer does take the W, and they're gonna be securing the sacred site yet again. The army's hanging out over here, and a scout's actually trying to stop this from going down. So Lucifron doing their absolute best, as Lucifron's army is not mobile at all, right? This thing is a solid landmass. It's very, very strong if run into, but it's not super mobile. While the the 7 Ghazi Raiders plus the archers, a little bit more mobile. The archers aren't mobile, but the Ghazi Raiders of course, are. So you'll definitely see if you're a newer player, or you're kind of new to a game, or you're new to a civilization that has a lot of cavalry units, or the vice versa, more like the English and Malians, which don't have a ton of use for those cavalry. I mean, obviously the English and the Malians can get the sofas, they can get the furniture out, but that's a whole different ballgame. Now this army did find a stationary army over here for the Delhi player. Gonna have to be dipping out real quick. Do not want that fight on normal terms. And look at all that chip damage. As I was saying, it is a little bit of difference, honestly, to kind of deal with a stationary kind of army like the English have early on, and you really can't move or get out of position. The positioning has to be really, really good, because if you get caught out with a stationary army, it is brutal. Something that I'm sure that some French players have a hard time dealing with is moving to a civilization that has not really cavalry focused. So they go from the most mobile kind of military in the game to one that's just a glob. It doesn't move much, doesn't do too much. But we're starting to get some serious army compositions out. 41 to 33 in total up top. Let's move this back to over here. Resources per minute. It looks like the Delhi player is really trying to stop this from going down. Does not want to deal with this pit mine in the slightest. We have actually some spearmen in the mix to provide kind of like a pseudo front line, which actually seems to be working out, and these Ghazi Raiders are finally getting us around on the javelin throwers, and that's exactly where they want to be. You can see that they do so much damage. A nice round there from the Ghazi Raiders. They're doing a ton of damage to all these javelin throwers, and the archers are doing a good job at focusing down these Donzas. These Ghazi Raiders are certainly getting more and more poke damage. A lot of them did end up going down, but a pretty solid trade here for the Delhi player, and this is kind of what I mentioned. They were kind of caught out in an unadvantageous spot. Delhi player had set up for the nice round. Not a lot of mobility with those Ghazi Raiders. While they did lose all their Ghazi Raiders, the archers and these spearmen additions really changed the tide of the entire game. They acted as a nice pseudo front line and really allowed the Ghazi Raiders to get that surround what they actually wanted to. So I really like that play and that adaptation out of the Delhi player. There's no rationale, rhyme, or reason as to why to make these spearmen, but these spearmen completely denounce this entire unit composition, and here comes the archers from Lucifron. So they figured that they would be going for that classic Donzo / javelin thrower combination, and decided, you know what, I'm gonna fight spears with spears, and I think that I'll be able to produce more than you, because this Delhi early on with that Tower of Victory, throw a scholar in there, and there we go. The scholars inside, hardened spearmen are popping out. Wait, that's a staple, so why does it say hardened spearmen? Because I'm so clicked on one from abroad. Oh, that spooked me. But we throw a scholar in here, and all of a sudden these spearmen are pretty. They're chilling. They're cooking away. Make more and more Ghazi Raiders because they're the faster to reinforce in the map. You completely shut down this pit mine, so now Luce runs down to just one pit mine. As you can see, the gold is not as good as it normally would be for the Malian player at this point, and we can see that there's just this. They're doing so much damage with all these little raids, and these spearmen are doing so well. And they do have their little attack speed increase as well. So this blob of spearmen is actually the counter to the classic Malian kind of defense. And also, it was incredibly important to have that Ghazi Raider surround and enough archers to actually take out that front line of Donzos. But you gotta love where the Delhi player is sitting at the current moment. I for one counted them out, honestly, a little bit. One, with it being Lucifron. Two, with that unadvantageous trade in the early game. But they've really turned it around and really started to take control. Now we're sitting at a 58 to 25 military count. We have 3 sacred sites collected out on the map. And Lucifron's going to be under some pressure. Let's see if Lucifron can at least make this a little bit of a game. Gotta get one hold off. Nice hold here. Gotta really get a few more archers. And you can see already playing into a role. There's a lot of spearmen here. And we have the cow boom is going into place. We can see that the gold is already being collected. The only issue with this Delhi army, they can't dive anything, right? That is not a diveable army. There is no armor over yonder. And there's a lot of, I was going to say, time to go back over here. Doesn't really have much options, but we're going to be probably seeing one go down over here just to really escape But it looks like the Delhi players are going to be looking to cause some damage to Lucifron, and they're going after the cows. I do like this. It's going to be super annoying if they're able to take down one of them. But look at how much damage that this TC does to all this non-armored units. And here we go. Even the archers are getting involved, and all of these spearmen are trying to act as a front line. But look at how many range arrows are going in. This is not a great fight for the Delhi player in the slightest. So you're going to have to back out, reevaluate. They have 75 army, and they're able to be thwarted by just one feudal age TC. Everyone in the comments is probably like, just nerf TCs, man. It's crazy. We have Rams now coming out for the Delhi player, and they are sitting in a good position. I would love for them to attack this front side, take out this production. Takes out this production. There's nothing that Lucifron can really do to stop the Sacred Site victory from going down. But it is Lucifron. He is going to start to collect a lot more of these archers. Javelin throwers are on the way. He would probably love another pit mine for sure, but does have some safe food back here, and these passive cow incomes are doing okay. Has enough gold to actually go up with the Grand Corral, but does not have enough food at the current moment. Almost does because of that passive food income. This wall is going to buy him maybe just enough time to get there, but it looks like the Delhi army is going to be looking to do a little bit more damage. I don't love this positioning again. I would just love to send it for the lads and stick and try to go after this production up front. And there it is. Castle Age in development for Lucifron. The Grand Corral is being thrown down. Now, I would not be surprised to see the Delhi player kind of go all in when he hears that go down, because as the rule of thumb in Age of Empires, if your opponent is going to age up, the best time to attack is the second you hear that timer. They are not investing in military, they're not investing in anything else besides that, and they don't really have much income coming in as well, because they have probably a lot of villagers sitting there building away. So this is the sweet spot, this is the time, this is your time to sign. If Lucifron can get these upgrades though in before this attack kind of goes down, then I am a little bit nervous for the Delhi player. They're just building the ram now, and there is a tick up, and there are the upgrades. So we can see that Lucifron was well ready for this, had prepped the gold in advance, made sure the coffers were full, and now we see the rams are going down. I think this is just a little bit too late, but I do think that the Delhi player is in a very, very good position. Of course, all of these players are way better than me, so just that it is nitpicking at best. If you can take down Lucifron, I won't say a word to you about your play style in the slightest. We did see a cheeky little archer sneak out the backhand side, trying to decap that to stop the count, if you will. And here we go. They're going in on the Grand Corral, trying to stop this from pastures from going down. And it looks like the rams are actually going in on this route. We do see one of the rams is going in on the production, and now the ram is trying to do as much damage as possible. The more this can go down, the better. But this is a Castle Age army diving under a TC, so this is a little bit spooky, but it looks like 88 is the magic number. There's 47 Tower of Victory archers in the mix, and they're cooking anything that comes. Every volley, another unit dies. As you can see, the volley count is going up. The rams are in, and they're doing a lot of damage. But the volley is not as efficient into these javelin throwers. You can just see how tanky they actually are. And now villagers are dying on spawn, which is never a good thing. And there's 15 villagers that are completely idle from all of this. This ram decides to take a wild turn of events and start going after houses. But this is what you want to see. Attack all this infrastructure over here. More and more rams are on the way. And there we go. We can see that it's going to be taking down all of this cattle. And Lucifron's in a really rough position here. He's running his villagers all around. This is a beautiful example of just how well and just how useful the Tower of Victory can be in some of these early aggressive civs, like Lucifron picked with the Maulings. But, I mean, Lucifron was able to hold in theory. It's going to be a rough hold, but we don't see anything. We don't see any GGs just yet. A wild move. Did you see that? A little just decided to kill his own cattle for absolutely no reason. Completely uncalled for from these Castle javelin throwers. But they're starting to get some value now, and they're turning and firing as best they possibly can. The cattle are moving closer to the TC, which makes them a little bit less ideal to kill. That is the entire passive food income of Lucifron is being decimated right now. I don't know what else they can really do to stop this, but this is brutal. Nothing can really go down, but now the TC is firing upon these archers. They will go down quite quickly, and it is 35 to 10. So Lucifron might actually be able to survive this, but now the 2 Rams are actually on the Grand Corral. And you can see Lucifron still has a higher score, which is crazy. Stuck some villagers out over here. But unfortunately for the Delhi player, did not secure the sacred site during all this attack. But we are streaming units across the way, trying to get as much damage as humanly possible. We're down to 18 military count, so hopefully we'll be going up to Castle Age soon, the Delhi player, and then that will be in a good spot. There are the villagers popping out to kill off these Rams for once and for all. The production are going back up, and Lucifron's going to look to see if he can defend himself further. We have the compound defender. This would be a comeback story for the H if Lucifron can actually come back from this. We'll have to wait and see. It's either going to be in the title of the greatest comeback ever, or, you know, it's going to be a clinic on how to take apart an aggressive Malian player. Either way, we're loving what we're seeing. No desire to give up in the slightest, and there's the cattle ranch. They're going back up as quickly as they possibly can, and then Lucifron replacing that with a mill so that they can take advantage of all of these cows. That is 3,000 food that's dead and gone over there, and some interesting interaction. We have actually villagers being secured over here. 17 villagers, now 19 villagers have been killed for the Delhi player, up a cool 20 villagers. Just got Castle Age as well. And this is gonna be tough. Village fortresses are actually going down, so he's actually gonna be building keeps on these sacred sites, I believe, or maybe gonna be dropping one over here to really add insult to injury. And it looks like that might be the case. We're actually seeing a cheeky mill being secured over here. We see the forward berries going down. So there's Musafati are actually coming out for Lucifron to try to desync these sacred sites. But look at all of these upgrades coming in for the Delhi player. We can see that they've also completely expanded and gotten everything they can around the map. They're not giving any resources to Lucifron at all, and we can see stables are now in the mix, and they're going Sofa. Sofa is going to be the move now at this point, but we now have the answer with Lancers. Crossbowmen are coming out, and there's more and more spearmen as well. So this is going to probably not end super well for Lucifron once this army kind of gets reformed and kind of goes right back in there. Now, we do have some cows, some pastures getting a little bit of bulk from the Grand Corral. We have a lot of villagers on food collecting those cows, trying to get them out of the way. Then we can delete this mill and kind of make them hang out from there. We have plenty, we still have some gold left. How much is left on this? We only have 400 left over here. So Lucifron's going to be running out of gold quite soon, and he needs to make his move out onto the map with his army if he can, because if he cannot, then it's going to be a slow bleed out process for the Delhi player. But you got to be really impressed with this Delhi player walling in Lucifron, wall them in completely on Hillendale. This is textbook. This is exactly what you want to do. It's like when you're watching like other like sports or esports, it's like, what is the textbook play to do to guarantee victory? This. You don't give them an inch. You're taking relics. You're walling them in. Lucifron's going to see that he has nowhere to go now at this point. Actually, I think he can sneak through here, right? He cannot. So that is fully secured, even though, I mean, you know, you and I could definitely fit through there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a large gap. Impressive that they can actually get it done, but, you know, it is what it is. The wolf trying to take a little bit of revenge for Lucifron. He heard what was going down and he wanted to do something about it. These sofas are going to be able to break through this forward wall in Lucifron's own base. 6 more are on the way. So Lucifron's actually going to put up a sizable army. That is the power of the Malians and this passive income, is while they've been beaten down quite a bit, they still have a little bit of an answer for this army. And here is another engage. We can see that the Lancers are moving in. The sofas are trying to kite back as best they possibly can. Villagers are actually in this mix, and that is, I think, a misclick for sure, because more villagers have just gone down. A quick 6-piece, now 8-piece just went down. They're actually fighting. They've turned to fight. That is not the move at all. Even though Lucifron might win this fight, at what cost? The costs are massive. 37. At this point, they're just tanking a Lancer over here. And this Lancer is taking names, taking numbers. That dude deserves a Medal of Honor. I think he just killed off like 12 villagers on his own. His sword is bloody, but we can see that they're finally Lucifron, with the help of villagers, is able to break out and try and get this pit mine secured. Again, I think it was a little bit advantageous, but he really needed to throw everything at the wall, see if it stuck. And it stuck for sure. He definitely got the win there, but Delhi is in a very, very good position, so we'll have to wait and see if Lucifron can do some counter damage over here. We see 4 production buildings, Siege in particular, are going down. A nice mangonel would be a absolute detriment to this army, but wonderful if you're the Delhi player or a Delhi fan enjoyer. We can see that Lucifron's throwing up those houses, throwing up a mill, mining camp, trying to get as much gold as humanly possible. Very, very low on it right now, even though he does have the second pit mine up and running. And we can see that Lucifron is testing the waters, seeing what the Delhi player has. See if he can move out. There is the mangonel. It's in production. We are a cool 30 seconds away from seeing it now. 15 seconds as the Scholar hops in there to make it even more efficient. And here comes the Lancers. Lancers are taking out sofas. And these archers, they really don't do too much in these Lancers in the slightest. They need more Donzo's help there. But the Donzos are not aware of going on. And there's the mangonel. And the first shot is fired. And absolute devastation. Money shot for the Delhi player. Playing this super, super well. Responding in tow to the army composition of Lucifron. And the mangonel thought about it. Just kidding. It just a little bit. Just wanted to see what was going on. Didn't actually want to make a commitment. We understand it. It makes sense. And now it's just going to be firing mangonel shots on the pit mine. Deciding that now, oh crap, there are sofas coming for me on the backhand side. And that will be the end of that mangonel. Rest in peace. It did a good fight. It tried its absolute best, but was yet, it could not do anything, unfortunately. Now we can see that the archers are moving out and they're trying to do some damage, some counter damage for Lucifron, but that's a lot of crossbowmen over here. So I don't think they can really win this fight. These Lancers are going to be hard to deal with, and I believe the Delhi player might be having this, but we can wait and see. There's arrow fire going back and forth. More Lancers are joining the fray, and that is the counter to this army right now. There's a few Dons in the mix. There's 4 currently, but there's 4 Lancers on the map. 4 and 4 is not going to get you that dub. It's going to get you a big old L, but they're trying to play this as best as possible. The crossbowmen are shooting, the archers are shooting, and now is coming down to it. There's 34 to 18, and the Delhi player has double the villager count. I would not be shocked to see if Lucifron decides to throw in the old towel after that one. He tried absolutely valiantly. He did not give up, so much respect to Lucifron, and a wonderful play here from the Delhi player, really understanding the win condition and just doing every possible thing, taking every resource. And there it is, GG's. The Delhi player in the purple with the dub, with the victory. So well played by both players. If you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. It means a lot to me, and I hope you guys have a great night.